In Michigan, I used to pay $43,000 a year in just property taxes and homeowners association fee on a $1.5 million house. Today in Dubai, alhamdulillah, I live in a $2.5 million villa and I only pay $5,000 a year, but I get 10 times the lifestyle. Let me break it down for you guys. So $43,000, it was $37,000 in property taxes and $6,000 in homeowners association fees and a home in Michigan in the suburbs of Rochester Hills, right? So $43,000 could have gotten me a vacation with my family in a secluded beach island where I could refocus, recharge, and get back with a lot more energy instead of just paying it on a property tax bill. What was I getting with $43,000, right? There were primarily three things, and I want to break it down for you guys. Number one, education. Number two, healthcare. Number three, safety. So let's break it down one by one, and I'm going to compare these to Dubai and what I'm getting with $5,000, okay? So I never sent my daughters to public school, which is where majority of these property taxes are supposedly going, right? But let's, for the argument's sake, let's say I was sending them to public school. And let's look at how the public school education is really going right now. They are forcing some curriculum that none of the parents want, none of the kids want to learn, LGBTQ education. And more than that, in this school, there is no guarantee of safety. May Allah protect all of our kids in the US because the school shooting is rampant. So where is this money actually going? Teachers are not getting paid enough salary for them to be motivated. The old school teachers, the teachers that follow the fundamentals of the family, the nuclear family. Now, all these new teachers that are coming in are teaching their own agenda. And there is no armed security guard in front of any of these public schools, but guns are accessible to the public. So how are you going to protect the school from a guy going cuckoo and coming and shooting? Again, may Allah protect our children. So where are these money actually going? I don't see any results when it comes to public schools. And that's why, and of course, because of the religious reasons, we sent our kids to private schools, so we were not even utilizing what was being provided. Then number two is healthcare. If you go to an emergency service, it's supposed to be emergency, but you wait 2, 3, 4 hours, 5 hours. And even then, even though I'm paying high property taxes, when I went to the hospital, I still had to pay my private insurance because I'm on the higher tax bracket, right? Even with paying the higher insurance premium or even paying directly for the emergency services, still the healthcare is always delayed. It's in shambles. The number three comes safety. And as you guys already know, what's happening in the US and recently, even in the suburbs of Rochester Hills, I was hearing lots of gangs were coming in from South America and they were robbing houses, burglary, a lot of issues were going on. But this money is being completely mismanaged, and the three core pillars that we're supposed to get, which is education, healthcare, and safety, we're not getting those. So although I was paying $43,000 a year, the direct benefit to my family was extremely limited. Now let's talk about my reality in Dubai. I live in a $2.5 million villa, which is almost the double price of what was the house that I had in Michigan, but I only pay $5,000 a year in service charges and $0 in property taxes. But let's combine all of them together. My cost of living is $5,000 a year in terms of, you can call it taxes, HOA, service charges, whatever you want to call it. Now, what do I get out of this only $5,000, okay? I get beautifully landscaped gardens in my community. Probably I wanted to count today how many date palm trees we have in our community. And these are beautiful date palm trees, beautiful gardens. Every 2 minutes walk, there's a garden, there's sitting area, probably thousands of date palm gardens. So all these are included, the beautiful landscape, the walking, the benches, the parks, the kids' playground. All those are included within that $5,000 service charge. Also, there is community mall that has swimming pool. Although, alhamdulillah, we have pool in our house, we use it for our family. But for other people, their swimming pool, they're getting that with that service charge. The masjid, alhamdulillah, Allahumma barik, the service in the masjid that you receive with that $5,000 service charge, that alone beats everything else because the masjid is always clean, impeccable. Always the fridge is filled with cold water. People come and take shelter between salah. People pray, beautiful recitation. All those are covered. Nobody's raising funds because all those are covered within that community's service charge. I want to go a little bit in detail on the community malls. Every community has its own community mall, and the community mall has all the essentials. The groceries, the barbers, the medical, the urgent care, the restaurants, the coffee shops, the kids' play area, kids' tutoring center, the schools. All those are in the community mall area, and all those, the maintenance of it, the upkeep of it, all those are covered in that $5,000 service charge. Now you might ask, okay, that's your community being covered with the $5,000 service charge. What happens when you step outside of the community? Well, welcome to Dubai. There is no potholes. There is no addicts. There is no bums, addicted, high on some sort of, I don't know what's the latest addiction going on right now, but you're not going to see any of those things. You feel safe with your kids, with your daughters, with your wives, with your sisters, anywhere. Alhamdulillah, and you're not paying anything extra for that safety. Everything is being monitored. Everything is being taken care of. Cleanliness, good smell, public restrooms are clean. All those are being taken care of. And there is no extra taxes that you're paying for those. So the kicker here is, even when we leave our gated community, the infrastructure does not collapse. The government takes care of it. The highways, the traffic lights, the tolls, the security, everything is being taken care of. So now let's compare it side by side, right? So in Michigan, $43,000 in property taxes gave me the following. Public schools that are not safe ideologically or even physically because of all the school shootings that are going on, roads that had potholes, hospitals that would give you high bills at the end, and no accountability of where your money is going in terms of property taxes. In Dubai, $5,000 a year gives me a safe, gated community, completely manicured landscape, parks, safety, hospital, schools, gyms, everything to top it all off, a masjid that's well maintained and where your iman boosts when you go there. So for 1/8 of the cost, I receive 10x the service and I see where every dirham is going and more, right? I'm like, take more from me because this is too much of service I'm receiving in return. Look, as human beings, we have no problem paying premium, $43,000 a year, $60,000 a year, $100,000 a year. If we get more than premium in return, we want more in return. We don't want to get a dollar worth thing for $1, right? We want to pay $1, get $10 back, right? And now if I'm paying $43,000, I want to get something where it's worth $400,000, but I'm not even getting $43,000, let alone anything else. Now, this is not about bashing America. America gave me the opportunity, and that's why, alhamdulillah, I am here where I am today, right? But this is about asking the question, where is your tax money? Where's your hard-earned money working the hardest for you? Because you have to make these smart choices when you are at a certain tax bracket and government is taking income taxes from you, and after being taxed on your income, you get that money, you go to the store, you want to buy something, there's a sales tax on that. So you're getting taxed on your tax money. And then with that tax on tax money, when you want to go back and buy a house, you buy a house, then you're being property taxed. So you have to ask question, where are all these money going? What am I getting in return? If I was to put the same amount of money somewhere else, what kind of service will I get? Because the whole world is a global village now. And it reminds me, in the Reagan era, I believe, in the 1980s, and Ronald Reagan is arguably one of the best presidents in the last 50 years, and maybe one of the best Republican presidents after Abraham Lincoln. And one thing he said very famously, in the beginning of any empire, the tax that's levied on the public, the amount is very low, but the revenue is very high because everybody's paying taxes, right? Even though tax amount individually is very low, but the revenue from the tax is very high. And at the end of an empire, at the decline, the tax bill itself goes very high, but the revenue that comes from the taxes is very low because nobody's paying that. Everybody's leaving. And he quoted one of the famous Muslim Arab historian where he got this theory, that's Ibn Khaldun. So this theory is from Ibn Khaldun. And I see this happening right now in Dubai where the taxes are very low because it's the start of an empire. And this is the time. It doesn't have to be Dubai. Just look around the world, see where you find yourself like, okay, this is a place where I can live with my family safely, where I'm not being taxed, where everybody's living peacefully. There's no hate. There is no crime. So just look around, ask yourself, and you'll see many options available. For our family, Dubai worked out to be the best. And with this, I'm going to leave you something for you guys to consider.